People who have had COVID-19 can get long COVID, even if they had no symptoms or only mild symptoms during the infection. You're more likely to get long COVID if you had to go to the hospital because of COVID-19. If you did not get the COVID vaccine, if you have a disability, or if you have a long-term health condition.
Hello everyone, I'm Sign1News anchor Vanessa Paloma Bajarnik. Here's a quick look at the top trending international news stories making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment about this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. The death toll from the massive earthquakes that struck Turkey and Syria on Monday has risen to more than 22,000 people. The earthquakes were magnitude 7.8. Rescue teams and aid have been pouring in from all around the world. A UN convoy was able to cross into northwest Syria on Thursday for the first time since the quake. But now there is a new threat. Rescuers say snowfall, as well as lack of water, communications, and power, could cause a secondary disaster. And with every passing hour, the hope for families with loved ones still missing is fading. A spokesperson for Bab al-Hawa crossing in Syria says they have not received any aid. But they have received the bodies of more than 300 Syrian victims from Turkey since the earthquake. Officials say the bodies have been sent to them from various areas and hospitals. The bodies were sent back to Syria so the victims can be buried in their home country. Syrian officials say they're frustrated and disputed earlier reports that roads had not been cleared for aid trucks to enter due to damage from the earthquake. They wonder, how are the roads okay for cars to carry bodies into Syria, but not aid? Despite the devastation and tragedy being reported in Turkey and Syria, there have been several stories of miraculous survival. This is video of a baby being rescued in Turkey 68 hours after the initial earthquake on Monday. And this is video from Syria of a baby being rescued from the rubble. When he comes out, he's smiling and starts playing with rescue workers. And two sisters were rescued in Turkey after being trapped under rubble for 62 hours. Rescuers say they will continue to dig and hold out hope they discover more miraculous survival stories. The death toll from the wildfires in Chile has risen to 24. The flames have also destroyed hundreds of homes and is now creeping into the habitats of vulnerable woodland animals. It is one of the country's worst natural disasters in years. Chile's Minister of Interior and Public Safety says the country is also experiencing a sizzling hot heat wave. And that's making it harder to fight the flames. Temperatures in some of the most affected areas have exceeded 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius. According to Ukrainian officials, 116 Ukrainian prisoners of war are headed home after being released by Russia. It was part of a prisoner exchange. The release happened following reports from Russian state media that Ukraine had returned more than 60 Russian prisoners of war after difficult negotiations mediated by the United Arab Emirates. Ukraine also managed to return the bodies of 2 foreign volunteers. They were both British nationals killed during a humanitarian mission in Ukraine. French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz welcomed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Paris just before heading off to the European Union summit meeting in Brussels. Before they left, Macron awarded Zelensky the Grand Cross of the Legion Honor for his courage and commitment during the Russian invasion of his country. That is the highest French Order of Merit. Upon arriving in Brussels, Zelensky thanked all of the countries that have provided weapons and military assistance during the Russian invasion. He also made a heartfelt plea to lawmakers to allow Ukraine to become part of the European Union. He said in part, "This is our Europe. These are our rules. This is our way of life. And for Ukraine, it is a way home, a way to its home." Help is pouring into Turkey and Syria from all over the world, but not just humans. Mexico is famous for its highly trained and specialized search and rescue dogs. "16 dogs and their handlers flew into Turkey this week to offer assistance in finding both survivors and bodies. The dogs are frequently used in Mexico because the country is prone to earthquakes. According to the BBC, several other countries have also dispatched canine teams, including the US, the UK, Greece, Poland, and Germany. Sign1News will be broadcasting international news updates every Sunday. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone. You can also watch on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku.